Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Holy Shoot Wrestling Podcast, a podcast that is all about the world of professional wrestling. On today's episode, we are doing our very own Royal Rumble yet again. This year, we are discussing all of the winners and some of the other great entrants in Rumble history. 30 men and women will be discussed, analysed, and 29 will be chucked over the metaphorical top rope, as there can only be one winner. Anyway, joining me on today's special episode is...
I'll go
Hey,
first.
this is Chen.
Fine, you go first.
Yeah. Okay, this is Chen. I'm glad. I'm glad to be here. That's all I could say. You know.
That was amazing.
This is the returning published bestseller selling author is Jason coming on the pod for the first time in a few weeks. Good to be back.
Yep, and
I'm Mike. It's Mike here. Hello. As you can tell from my accent, it's me, Mike, the one who likes watching wrestling and watches every WrestleMania before WrestleMania every year. Me. Hi.
that's Sam. Anyway, how are you doing, guys?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been quite busy, I think, with the book stuff going on. So yeah, I'm sort of hoping to be on some more podcasts outside of our own one over the coming weeks. But yeah, it's been a fun project to be a part of. But I'm looking forward to Rumble. It's probably my favourite show of the year.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to the Royal Rumble. I'm pretty excited about that. Coincidentally, this is our second Royal Rumble episode where we do a Royal Rumble. And yet again, on the day of recording, I've hurt my groin.
How? What? I mean, are these two things related? Is this like you get so excited about the Royal Rumble that you keep doing like, I don't know, high kicks around your house? And then you just like overstretch on one of the kicks?
No. I woke up this morning after like a gym session. I was like, oh no. So, yeah. Every time I record a Royal Rumble episode, apparently my groin gets injured.
And that's the only reason you haven't ended for the past 2 years, right? Otherwise, you'd be over there.
Oh yeah, of course.
Your big debut.
And speaking of the Royal Rumble, you guys can join us all at Belushi's next week for our Royal Rumble pay-per-view meetup.
Yeah, that's Belushi's London Bridge. You should definitely join.
And Jason Norris will be signing autographs.
Yeah. So let me do the full plug. So yeah, go to watchwrestling.london to hear more about the Royal Rumble meetup we'll be doing next Monday in London Bridge at Belushi's. It's a spoiler-free chance to watch it after work. And yes, I will be there. I might bring a copy of the Women Love Wrestling book and I will sign it and give it away because I'm a nice guy like that.
Oh, and if you pay him a tenner, he'll give you a little kiss. 15 on the lips.
That's
why I cut down.
Yeah, I'm willing to offer those as well.
So I wanted to just mention quickly before we get into the show. Last week, everyone got real mad at me because I said I hadn't seen John Cena versus CM Punk. And in the intervening week, I actually, for once, did my homework and I watched the match. And I have to say, you guys were right. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I know, right? It was amazing.
So I'm glad that I watched the VT at the start, which, I mean, I don't know. WWE don't really seem to do this anymore or anywhere near as good as they used to. I don't know if the video producer who made these has left or what. But it started off by showing a bit of the pipe bomb promo, and I was initially a bit like, eh. And then it showed some footage from some random promo on Raw where CM Punk was talking about how John Cena wasn't the underdog anymore, even though that's what he'd built his career on, and he'd become everything that he hated. Like, he was the favorite and CM Punk was the underdog. And at that point, I was a bit like, all right, yeah, maybe there is something to this guy.
And I think the third man in that match, which is interesting if you hadn't seen it before, is the crowd in Chicago, which kind of what gave Chicago crowds their reputation, I think.
Oh, yeah.
How much they add to that match.
The vicious boo. See, I was like, is he going to do the salute and run down the ramp and chuck his T-shirt and stuff? And he did throw his T-shirt. So Chicago's not Philadelphia, because when he tried that at the One Night Stand 2005, they threw the T-shirt back, which I thought was extremely good. But still, I guess, you know, if you're at a big wrestling show and John Cena chucks his T-shirt at you, you're going to keep it even if you hate him.
Yeah.
But so fair enough. I thought it was the way that it ended. That kind of annoyed me a bit. I guess I hadn't seen the build or whatever, and maybe it was a satisfying end to that storyline that I hadn't seen most of. But to me, I kind of wish it had ended cleaner rather than with some janky ending where Cena comes out and he's like, "I'm not winning by cheating. I'm a good guy."
That is probably the one mark against it, really, but it was part of a wider storyline, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think everyone was just relieved CM Punk won more than anything else, and it was, it was pretty clean up until that point.
Oh yeah,
CM Punk leaving with the WWE Championship and then appearing on like some indie shows with the WWE title as a free agent. It's crazy. It was a crazy time.
Yeah, the way he did leave the arena was very cool, and actually kind of made me forget about the ending a little bit. The only reason I brought it up is because this is a podcast where we're supposed to be critical of things. Because if we just go, "Oh, it was really good," it's not that good to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why it's not people's number one match of the decade, but like for me, it was instant number one. Like there was nothing else. Just the way it made fans feel at a time of vanilla wrestling, to be blunt.
Yeah. They don't do anything screwy, do they? It's just like a regular, clean wrestling match with a bit of interference at the end.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. It's very Attitude Era-esque in a PG era world, so that's why it stood out to me.
I tell you one thing I don't like, and that has been absolutely cemented by watching that match, is when people in WWE use their fucking finishing hold as a rest hold. That should be what you put on someone to end the match. Use a different hold and have a rest by all means. But like John Cena endlessly using the STF as a rest hold, like that pissed me off a lot.
Huh. I didn't think about that too much, but like I get it's not everybody's number one, but for me it was. So I'm glad it finished number one.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a criticism of that match exclusively. That's just kind of the WWE style. People do it all the time.
Yeah, definitely. So,
so there you go. If you were like me and you didn't know about the match, go back and watch it.
Yeah, and
next week you'll watch the Undertaker HBK matches at WrestleMania. Hopefully,
probably won't be that drunk when I get home.
You don't need to be drunk to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe
you can check out our match of the decade list of the first in our I Love 2010 series this year by going into last week's episode. It's a 2-hour special with myself, Chen, and Sam dissecting what we consider to be the top 10, technically 11 matches of the decade. And yet, CM Punk John Cena, spoiler, was number one, but it's worth listening for the other 10, and it's worth listening to Sam's heated argument. And my heated retorts. Like I thought a friendship was coming to blows over Punk, of all people.
Listen to me shit on CM Punk. At one point, I do compare him to Randy Orton, and I'd like to take that back.
Yeah,
if anyone can tell me a good Randy Orton match, I'd love to hear it.
Funnily enough, at that pay-per-view against Christian.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah.
At one point, guys, I was listening and I thought Brod's really done his research, and you guys were talking about that match, all three of you, with Sam's explaining what he didn't get about it, but the way that Chen and Brod were explaining that match and what it actually meant was actually very well done. There was work done there.
That
means a lot
Jason
coming from an author like you. Okay.
Thank you.
Busy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm now very humbled. World-renowned author Jason Norris.
I can legit say that it was number 2 in the Kindle wrestling charts. In the UK. So
I'm rooting for you to become number 1. Hopefully, it'll go up by next week.
It's a
very good book. I have been reading it. It's a good one to read on the train and stuff because it's all individual little articles, so I can kind of get through one on a commute, which is quite nice.
A good train book.
A good train book.
It's very much you could pick up and just read any chapter you like. It's a pick and mix. You can either read it in order or choose one particular chapter. That's the good thing about it.
It's not a Goosebumps novel. Read it in order.
Yes, I think I can class myself as a best-selling author because it was number 2 on the Kindle charts in the UK in terms of wrestling books, so that counts as a bestseller for me. But yeah, that is Women Love Wrestling. You can find it on Amazon worldwide or go to womenlovewrestling.net. And it is a book written not just by myself, but by wrestling promoters, wrestlers, journalists, PhDs, podcasters. It's a wide range, all about the topic of women in wrestling over the many years they've been a part of it.
Very good. And yeah, it's definitely worth a read. I had the pleasure of checking out the WrestleMania chapter early, and it was a very, very good account of the experience that both myself, Jason, and the tens of thousands that were there in attendance in New York last year. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a good read. So buy that on Amazon right now. So, shall we get on with the show, gentlemen?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! How this will work is simple. We start with 2 wrestlers. Every 90 seconds, a new wrestler will enter. Every 3 minutes, someone on the show will be selected at random to eliminate at least 1 wrestler. There must be 1 wrestler in the competition at any one time. We will also have a final 2, and then we will all vote on who the winner should be. Introducing first. She is the 2018 Royal Rumble winner, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble winner, Asuka. And introducing at number 2. Stone Cold! Stone Cold! It's the 3-time Royal Rumble winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Where's the bit of Steve Austin's theme where someone goes, ooh?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ooh! Oh, I'm with you now.
Yeah, I just like doing these on the fly. Some of these will have intro music, so
If you
if
could
you're
remember
ready
it, yeah.
Sam is our stopwatch champion, so if you're ready to be Captain Stopwatch.
All right, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding.
So who wants to talk about Asuka versus Steve Austin, the dream match?
This match would be bananas.
Okay, I guess I'll start. All right. Austin goes to shake Asuka's hand, and then Asuka she shakes Austin's hand, but then an evil smile comes across her face as she does her green mist to Austin. Austin is screaming for a few seconds, wipes the mist off his face, and then gives Asuka the finger and gives her the Stone Cold Stunner.
Fair enough, but we are going to talk about like their legacies in the Royal Rumble and why they're better. But we should read a fantasy book in one next year. That'd be amazing.
That's a good start to the match. I mean, shall I sort of pick up on this first? I guess. So Steve Austin, the only guy to win it 3 times. He didn't manage to do it 3 times in a row though, because of like Mr. McMahon and some other things and injuries. I guess if we're talking about. If we're going to talk about this, what matters most, 1997, Steve Austin wins the Rumble, goes on to take on HBK at WrestleMania. Kind of really starts the Austin era at this Royal Rumble in terms of him being a made man and being put on the top of the card. So while the other 2 matter, that's one of the most important Rumbles of all time. And then Asuka is also one of the most important Rumble winners of all time because she's the first woman to win a Rumble.
5,
Nobody is
4,
ready for Asuka.
3, 2, 1. Entering number 3 is a 2003 winner, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, well, this is, again, just like a very strange match. I think out of the 3 of these, Asuka has the best YouTube channel, but I don't know about if she's had the best matches, perhaps.
I mean, these days an Asuka match is way more better than a Brock Lesnar match, right?
We're talking about the Royal Rumble performance, right? So we're talking about Brock Lesnar 2003 Royal Rumble winning performance. What did that mean compared to the other 2 and their Rumble performances? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is Brock's. Was it his only Royal Rumble appearance during his initial run, and then he had the one recently when him and Goldberg did silly stuff. So we're talking about this was the one that set him up for Mania against Kurt Angle, right?
He beat Undertaker for the 30th spot, and then I think that's how he entered the match.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember much about the actual Rumble itself, so I can't comment on how much of an achievement it was, but it's his only one, and it was a time when he was being pushed to the main event.
I was going to say the Rumble's a bit below Brock Lesnar now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he's in it at number 1 this year.
Is he?
Yeah.
As
Wow.
WWE champion as well. So
Oh man.
yeah, rumors
Hooray.
has it that Drew McIntyre will eliminate him, which I'm looking forward to, being Scottish and all. So, you know,
Anything else to say about this Rumble? I mean, I can't say much apart from he won it. It's hard to remember this one standing
No,
out.
same.
entering at number 4 is the man with the most eliminations, Kane. And Chen, you need to eliminate one of Asuka, Steve Austin, or Brock Lesnar.
I'm going for the big man himself, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, good
Brock
choice.
Lesnar's the first eliminated. Holy shit! So let's talk about Kane. Most eliminations in Royal Rumble history. He did have the record for the most single eliminations in a Royal Rumble, until Roman Reigns broke that record in 2014, I believe. Was it 2001 he broke the record?
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
2001.
I can't. He's broken loads of Rumble records. I'm sure not just these two.
He's broken a few, but these are what he's known for. And I think 2001 was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the hardcore Royal Rumble because he eliminated a bunch of guys. It was like all the ECW and hardcore guys, and he chucked a bunch of them out along the way.
Yeah,
So that's the one.
that was the Rumble that kind of had like phases where like the beginning was like a kind of cruiserweighty phase, then it had the hardcore phase, then Kane came in and hoofed everyone out, and it became like the main event phase after that with all the big lads in.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone knows Kane for most. We can't pick out one particular Rumble for him because he's been in so many of them, and I'd be interested if he's turning up this year or not. After he's like re-emerged on SmackDown, maybe they'll get him in to
believe he
eliminate
is.
one or
I
two.
Rumor
believe
has
he is
it, yeah.
declared.
Oh, that'd
Yeah,
be
rumor
cool to see. So it's hard to pick one Rumble performance, but he's
4,
definitely a big star of the
3,
Rumbles for those
2,
eliminations.
1.
Mhm.
Enter at number 5 is the 2010 winner, Edge.
I kind of think I know him, but I don't know.
Yeah. On this day, I see clearly. Sorry, I forgot to do the entrance music for Brock Lesnar and Kane.
So Edge, this was Edge returning from injury, right? 2010. So he'd
Yeah,
been away
he
for a little while.
For
Yeah,
the neck, because he was tag team partners with Chris Jericho at the time, right? And then he got injured.
yeah. I think he got injured in 2009. He came back in the Royal Rumble that year. I felt that Shawn Michaels was going to win the Royal Rumble that year and challenge Undertaker for the World Heavyweight title, but obviously that didn't happen.
And that set up the main event for Jericho and Edge. I remember. Yeah, to be fair, I'm surprised Edge hasn't won more Royal Rumbles. To be fair, because he was a top main eventer for a while during the
Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was just other guys those years. So I think Edge was like just a random surprise winner. No one expected him to return that early. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very much one of those actual surprises when he turned up.
Yeah, but I also believe this was the start of when, if you win the Rumble, it doesn't mean you main event WrestleMania.
3, 2, 1.
No, it did.
Enter at number 6. He's just a sexy boy. Sexy boy. He's not your boy toy. It's Shawn Michaels, and this is my opportunity to eliminate someone. So I am eliminating Asuka. So Shawn Michaels, Jason. Let's talk about Shawn Michaels. Back-to-back Royal Rumble winner. First person to win it from number 1 as well. Was it a good part of his legacy? Some people say he didn't deserve to win from number 1.
Controversial opinions. 1995 is the worst Rumble of all time, and this ties into a period of time for WWE where they were both nearly financially and creatively bankrupt. 95 is the Rumble that goes for less than 40 minutes in total. He goes from beginning to end, like 1 to 30, along with Bulldog. That's the only thing that stands out. It's a Royal Rumble full of has-beens and never was-es. It's just a terrible Rumble. 96 is a bit better because it goes for nearly an hour, I believe, and he does end up, going through that and taking out Diesel. That one stands out a bit more. But I think when you look at Shawn Michaels as a 2-time Rumble winner, he's an amazing athlete and he's done well in other Rumbles, but his actual wins, kind of a low point in WWF and WWE history.
Was this the one? Oh, sorry.
I disagree. Like, I think 2015 Rumble's worse.
Was this the one where he was? Everyone thought that the Bulldog had won, but he'd actually not touched the floor.
Yeah.
That was a cool. I remember reading about that in the WWF
that's
magazine.
the one good
Four,
moment in the whole thing.
3, 2, 1. Whoa! I can't be bothered to do Becky Lynch's theme. Becky Lynch, last year's Royal Rumble winner in the women's side. Who wants to take Becky Lynch? I'm going to go with you, Sam. Let's go with you.
Yeah, she's good at wrestling, and I like her. I think kind of we all knew she was going to win the Rumble a little bit, but it was one of those kind of predictable booking choices, which still makes sense. And so she still got a big pop. It wasn't like, oh, what a surprise, the WWE again. It still felt like, the right thing. And it was what everyone wanted as well. Let's
She
be
didn't
honest.
come out in the 30 though. Like, she had to do the old switcheroo with an injured Lana. So, I think
They dragged it out. Do you remember for ages? We're like, just let her in the damn ring.
good old Finley just went, "You're Irish, that'll do."
Finley got his TV time for the year. That was nice.
I bloody love Finley.
Yeah, he loves to fight, that lad. And it makes sense that he would be hanging around with Becky Lynch, who also loves to fight. This is the one that then built into that incredible WrestleMania main event, which featured probably the best backstage segment in the last few years from WWE, where Becky Lynch was kicking Ronda Rousey in the head and screaming, "Kiss my foot, you little weirdo," which was great. Just fantastic television.
Oh, it was so trash. It was amazing.
This was a good Rumble. It was Slam Mark, and it's a recent one, but maybe not the best ever.
Yeah,
No, indeed, yeah.
definitely true. We're not talking about Rumbles though. We're talking about competitors. And 3, 2, 1. It's John Cena. And who's going to eliminate someone here? Chen, you get to eliminate someone.
I'm gonna go for Kane.
Oh, Kane, very historic competitor. But anyway, Chen, do you want to go with talk about John Cena, 2018-2013 winner?
So I can't remember the 2013, but I remember the 2008. And this was another one where he came back from injury very early, right?
Yeah, 2008 was when he came back from injury at number 30. Massive crowd pop. No one expected it.
I just remember Triple H's face.
Oh,
Yeah.
I rewatched that Rumble. It is such a good Rumble. They do not make Rumbles like that anymore. I think part of it's in the stadium, but they do not make Rumbles like that anymore.
And 2013 was the one where he won it, so he could go and face The Rock for a rematch at WrestleMania that no one wanted to see.
Also, worth calling out, he kind of co-won the 2005 one before they restarted it, and Vince broke both his legs.
Yeah.
The greatest moment in Rumble history.
Yeah, great moments in wrestling history.
So you got to give John Cena that one, maybe, towards his legacy of Rumble kind of wins.
You couldn't trust two green guys with that at all, could you? I think the 2008 Rumble moment is high up there, and I'll be surprised if he gets eliminated pretty early. We are down to entrant number 9 is Chris Benoit.
So let's take a moment. Who's in the ring?
Instead, because I don't want to talk about him.
Yeah,
Steve Austin, Edge, Shawn Michaels, Becky Lynch, John Cena, and Murderer is still in the.
I wonder who's going out next.
I will say this though, I did enjoy 2004 Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy that Royal Rumble because especially because I remember one of the first things that popped into my mind was Goldberg coming into the ring, spearing everybody, spearing Nuncio. I just remember, and then Brock Lesnar coming in, F5ing Goldberg, and Goldberg saying, "You son of a bitch!"
I think I remember that Rumble more for like Mick Foley coming out to challenge Randy Orton. I think Undertaker interfered at some point as well with Kane.
With his gong.
Yeah. I that was a good Rumble. Shame it will never be on WWE's YouTube channel.
Benoit won by eliminating Big Show at the end. At the time, I think we all loved it, but obviously we look back now and there's no way Chris Benoit is winning this Royal Rumble winners battle of Royal Rumbles, is it?
Well, soon we could be looking forward to having Chris Benoit Jr. in the Rumble. His kid said, publicly that he wants to wrestle as Chris Benoit Jr., which is a little bit like, oh, dude, maybe not.
Entering at number 10 is Big John Studd, the 1989 winner. Jason, you get to eliminate at least one person from Austin, Edge, Michaels, Lynch, Cena, that guy, and Studd.
So I'll get rid of Benoit and HBK.
Whoa! Shawn Michaels?
Whoa, double elimination.
I made my point, so I'm getting rid of him.
No!
Let's move
Shawn
on to
Michaels with that ending
He's
with the Undertaker. Who cares about Big John Studd? He's going soon anyway.
So
But
John-
Who is Big John
So
Studd?
let me give you the background. Big John Studd was a very large man, 6'10", 360 odd pounds in terms of build, height, and weight. He spent most of the 80s feuding with Andre the Giant, genuinely being beaten in a battle of the giants. But this was actually after he'd retired, and he came back after a couple of years away, and he turned babyface. So he was now feuding the opposite way against Bobby Heenan and Andre the Giant. It was actually the start of, I mean, the Rumble itself isn't brilliant, but it was meant to be the start of them rebuilding John Studd and making him into a big player. But unfortunately, contract issues meant he didn't stick around for much longer afterwards. So he kind of came back for about a year, wins the Royal Rumble, and then leaves again without ever getting that big break they were talking about. But he was a big boy, and this was the first couple of Rumbles still where they hadn't quite worked out the formula. So it wasn't quite as smooth as like maybe it had been. This was the first, I think, 30-man version, for example. The first one was 20. But he won. It was not something anyone would remember, though.
unlike that Shawn Michaels elimination, oh, harsh. And entering at number 11 is the 1999 3 winner. I fucked that up. Yokozuna. Jason, do you want to? You're an old man. Let's talk about Yokozuna.
Yokozuna. Yeah, very large man. Probably best remembered from this Rumble for the fact that at the end, I think at the end it's him and Macho Man. And Macho Man manages to have him on the floor and hit him with the elbow, but for some reason goes to pin Yokozuna because Macho Man isn't very sensible. So Yokozuna kind of just pushes him up in the air and over the top rope and wins the whole thing.
that finish was
it's almost
weird.
as good as when Hulk Hogan pulls Sid over the top rope in '92.
Yeah, it was one of those bizarre, like, Metro, what are you doing? This makes no booking sense. Like, no, this just is weird.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just
Like
jump over the top rope.
I mean,
a proper Mil Mascaras moment, yeah.
and Yoko had some good Rumble moments. I mean, a few years later, there's a great moment of him and Vader going at it in a Rumble. Was that 95 or 6? I thought 96 or something. I'm trying to remember what year that would have been. But Yoko, very, very large man. This was when he won. Is this where he won and then he went on to Mania and beat Bret Hart, I think? That's this period, right? And then Hulk Hogan comes back from afterwards. It's that mess. It's the Hulk Hogan's come back and business hasn't turned around, so Hulk Hogan's going away. But big bad Yokozuna, who's from Hawaii and playing a Japanese sumo wrestler.
I was going to say, yeah, famously Japanese Yokozuna from the great nation of Japan.
Yeah. So
yeah. Entering at number 12, it's time to play the game. It's Triple H, and I have the next elimination. So I am also going to eliminate 2. I don't like my big guys very much, so I'm eliminating Big John Studd and Yokozuna. So that leaves Steve Austin, Edge, Becky Lynch, John Cena, Triple H. Sam, do you want to go with the 2002-2016 winner?
Triple H. I don't. Oh no, I do remember the 2016. That was what he came in at, like number 30, didn't he?
28.
Yeah, it was
28.
That one for your Roman Reigns Rumble where Roman
When the title was on the line.
Yeah.
And then he beat Roman Reigns and became the champion.
No, he beat Dean Ambrose. He beat
he beat Roman Reigns as well, and all 29 other competitors definitely to become ultimately the WWE champion, which is definitely something we all wanted to see in 2016. I nearly said 2006. Which is wrong.
Do you know why I remember that Rumble? What's the good thing about the Rumble? That was AJ Styles' debut.
Oh yeah,
We're not talking about AJ Styles. No one cares. Jay like that.
Triple H 2002. That was also a return from injury out of nowhere that no one thought. So he got a pop there before it all fell apart, and everyone.
That was a good Rumble as well.
He's had some great performances. 2006 against Mysterio, over an hour. 2008, where he finished second to John Cena. So he's had some great performances over the years. Let's not forget. Entrant number 13 is Break the Walls Now. He has the most time spent in Royal Rumbles. It is Y2J Chris Jericho. I am going to go with UJ first and foremost.
So I've got to talk about Jericho. Okay, yeah, never won it, but put in some great performances. We're talking about the fact he spent a lot of time in there. Even when he's got older, he's put a lot of time into these Rumbles. Apart from the Greatest Royal Rumble, which we're not including here. That was his bizarre experience of being paid lots of money for a few minutes' work.
It was the best one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he did well. He got paid a lot of money. That's his best payday for work rate ever. But my personal favorite of Jericho is when he was feuding with HBK, and he fake came out for the as number 2, but it was actually Christian in disguise, and Jericho just came up behind HBK and threw him over the top rope. That was
I remember
a
when he
highlight.
was supposed to win the 2012 Royal Rumble as well, and then they gave it to Sheamus instead, which is quite the disappointment. Do you think Chris Jericho should have won 2012, Chen?
Yep, but Sheamus was Triple H's training buddy at the time, so I think that's why they gave it to Sheamus, right?
And he had big muscles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely big muscles.
And he did that
Big
thing where
muscle
he would
Sheamus.
yell, "Are you not entertained?" And we'd go, "No."
Gladiator.
Yeah, Vince
Well,
had
Sheamus
obviously
is
seen
entering later.
Gladiator.
Sheamus is entering later, but we've got only 1 second left until entry number 14, and it is the OG Hacksaw. Ho! Jim Duggan and Sam, you get to eliminate at least one from Jericho, Triple H, John Cena, Becky Lynch, Edge, and Steve Austin.
Let's get rid of Steve Austin and Edge. Why not?
What?
I just
Austin?
pick them. Well, if he wins, it'll just be like obvious. He's not.
Wow.
Come on now. He's not
Wow, we're
winning
talking
from
about the
number
greatest
one.
Rumble
God.
legacies. I mean, I want to eliminate Austin eventually because, never mind. Jason, you're an old man. Let's go back to that joke again. Jim Duggan.
I am the most wise and educated man. That is true of the group.
Wise, as in old, yes, but
Wise old man. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's the first Royal Rumble. It's actually 20 competitors because it was still the whole. Let's take a battle royal and do something different. Let's have them enter one by one. And it was actually not a pay per view. It was a network special. It's hard to remember much more than that. I know that he won it, and it was very good for Hacksaw. It was in the days where you just won it and you didn't really get anything for winning it. So good for him.
we need
And
Mike in this segment as well.
Mike would probably fill in the gap. He to tell you everyone that Hacksaw eliminated on his way to winning. I remember watching it years ago. Nothing much stands out. It was just one of those. Let's put some mid-carders in here because it's not the real main eventers.
Yeah, anyway, entry number 15 is the most time in one Rumble without winning. It's Bob Backlund. Does anyone really want to say anything about Bob Backlund, or do you want to recap who's still in?
I'll just say Bob Backlund's crazy Bob Backlund, but yeah, let's have a recap.
Yeah, so we have Becky Lynch, second ever Women's Royal Rumble winner, 2-time winner John Cena, 2-time winner Triple H, Chris Jericho, who spent the most time in Royal Rumbles and probably should have won 2012, the original winner Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Bob Backlund. Delay for time.
So when did Bob Backlund? Is that total time or just one Rumble in particular where he was? What Rumble was that?
I think it's one Rumble without, but I'm not entirely sure. There's one Rumble without winning, except the other guys that have done it since and done it better, like Triple H in 2006, for instance.
Yeah, because I mean, Bob Backlund very good considering how old he was at the time when he made his 90s return.
Basically, he's there to make the numbers. Someone can eliminate him in the next round.
Oh, poor Bob. He's a 2-time WWE champion.
I like Bob Backlund. He's a very entertaining guy, but he is probably the worst person in this Royal Rumble. Let's not be around the bush. No one knows anything he's done. He is literally the last man to fill this void.
So surely the most.
Entry number 16 is the 1994 winner Lex Luger. Jason, you get to eliminate at least one between Backlund, Duggan, Jericho, Triple H, John Cena, and Becky Lynch.
Well, let's get rid of Bob Backlund because he's kind of pointless. So we'll just do that for now.
All right.
So when you say the 1994 winner, like Lex Luger, there's obviously two winners we're going to be talking about. Lex Luger, this was a period when Vince had tried to do some stuff with Ric Flair and Bret Hart. It hadn't quite worked out, so he went back to, I need a new Hulk Hogan, and basically put Lex Luger into that gimmick, including like the full-on Americana thing with the American flag on his little pants, and coming out
the Lex Express, right?
The Lex Express, yeah, he had the bus and everything. So it was during that time period where they were trying to work out: are we going to go with the Hulk Hogan knockoff, or are we going to go with Bret? Lex Luger, to be fair, he was a capable guy, but everyone remembers him for being good, but not just lacking the X factor. And in this match, I think everyone remembers basically his interaction with Bret Hart and the fact that it was the first time two people had gone over at the same time to create a big controversy. So that's the main Luger stuff in there. Always solid.
Can't take Lex Luger matches or Lex Luger in the ring seriously because every time he punches someone, he goes, "Yeah, ow!" It's really annoying.
And he's got that foreign object in his elbow as well. Was it
Oh
his
yeah,
wrist or
he has
whatever?
a pin in his elbow or some shit, doesn't he? I watched the Lex Express documentary, and he looks pissed off in so much of it. It's quite funny.
Entry number 17. Woo! It's Ric Flair.
He was the first one to go from 1 to win, wasn't he?
He was number 3.
Oh
But
yeah,
but it was when they had, I think, proper 2-minute time intervals, so it still was 60 minutes that he did, like over 60 minutes.
yeah. That was the if you want to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And
Yeah.
when he was calling himself the uncrowned champion.
Yeah, and it was also for the belt. The first Rumble was for a world title. So you have to
How
remember
many
that.
Rumbles have been for world titles? Not many. It's normally just for a
Yeah,
title
I'm trying
shot,
to remember
isn't
off the
it?
top of my head if it's like 2 or 3, but it's normally for a
It's
title.
not many.
But this was like back when it was for the actual belt, and it was before you got an actual title shot for winning the Rumble. It was actually before that, it was just a Rumble, and then this was you get the belt if you win, and then it became title shots afterwards. And we discussed this a year ago. We established that Flair winning the Royal Rumble was our favorite Royal Rumble moment of all time.
One thing that reminds me
Yes.
of Ric Flair, I know this is later on in his career, but it's that segment. I think it was the Royal Rumble 2004 again, where Eddie steals his number. It wasn't even a Royal Rumble match itself.
Oh yeah, it's 2005.
Okay, yeah,
First one I watched.
that was a great segment. And Ric Flair always had great stamina. He could go to the distance.
4.
I'm surprised he's
3.
not done like a post-retirement Rumble entrance.
Entry number 18. I walk for miles inside this pit of danger. A place where no one follows me. I am Batista. Right. He's not walking alone. It's 2-time winner Batista. And Chen, you get to eliminate at least one from Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Jim Duggan, Chris Jericho, Triple H, John Cena, and Becky Lynch.
I'm going for Lex.
Oh, Lex Luger's gone. Okay, let's talk Batista. He's the first Royal Rumble winner that I had in my fandom, so I have a soft spot for this. But oh dear, neither of his Royal Rumble wins came great. Let's say 2005 botched against John Cena, in 2014 booed out of the building because it was so predictable.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
CM Punk Rumble as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the
that was
that
the
was the
first
one.
time,
That was
right?
that 2014 where people just wanted Punk or Bryan to win, and yeah, 2005 the crowd was happy, but like for Batista to win, but it was just the botch. Always everyone remembers, but he won it at the right time in 2005, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, like the Evolution storyline made total sense. So
Yeah,
he was the
yeah.
right winner. Like both Batista and John Cena would have been the right winner that year.
Yeah.
It was just an absolute botch fest. So yeah, absolute. That's a shame. Entering at number 19, it's Booyaka Booyaka 619 Rey Mysterio, the 2006 winner. Probably the best individual performance in the Royal Rumble, Chen. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Obviously, we can say he won it because for Eddie Guerrero storyline, but
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio has always been entertaining in Royal Rumble matches. Even when he came back, 2 years ago as a surprise entrant, and the crowd went nuts, and how much of a great shape he looked in.
Yeah, he definitely was like in very good shape when he returned for the Royal Rumble. I think it was 2017. But yeah.
And
I
the
mean,
one
he's
he
always
won,
had.
he won it from number 2, right?
Yeah, he won it from. Yeah, he won it from number. Yeah, he won it from number 2. I think Triple H was number 1 that year.
Okay.
And they both survived until pretty much near the end. The only person in between that was Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic, one of the best eliminations as well. Like the ending, like Randy Orton's about to dump him over the top rope, and Ray does the Hurricane. I mean, I'm sentimental about that victory. Being an Eddie fan as well, it was all good at that point. And then Eddie burns in hell and went south that storyline. So
Oh yeah. Oof.
yeah, 3, 2, 1, and entering at number 20. Bong! It's The Undertaker, the 2007 Royal Rumble. And Chen, again, you get to eliminate someone.
I'm gonna go. You're gonna hate me for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking. I'm eliminating Triple H.
What? No, not Triple H.
Okay.
He doesn't need the win.
That leaves Becky Lynch, John Cena, Chris Jericho, Jim Duggan, Ric Flair, Batista, Rey Mysterio, and The Undertaker. Jim Duggan is still alive, but Chris Jericho isn't. Triple H.
Triple H, isn't it?
Yeah, they all blur into one. Triple H, Jericho. So yeah, The Undertaker, 2007 winner, probably the best Enter Royal Rumble match in history between him and Shawn Michaels. You hear that, Sam? Jay, what do you want to say about The Undertaker and his legacy in Royal Rumble matches?
I think, don't worry, this is the one where he won it and then he went on to face Edge at WrestleMania. I think that was
Batista.
No? Batista in WrestleMania. Okay, just want to make sure I got my time period right. I don't associate Undertaker too much with the Royal Rumble, to be honest, because so many times over the years he was at a big spectacle match, like a casket match or a title match on the Royal Rumbles themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maven.
that's what I was about to say. And then the thing that stands out is that moment with Maven where Maven drop kicked him and eliminated him, and that was when he was in like the American Badass style Undertaker, and the look Taker gave, and then just fucking battered him.
And JR's commentary as well. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I love that. I love that moment. Entrant number 21 is the two-time winner, back-to-back years in 1990 and 1991. It's the apparently real American and real racist Hulk Hogan. Who wants to talk about Hulk? Jay?
Yeah, I can talk about Hulk. So this was, again, these are the Rumbles before you could win the world title or get a shot at WrestleMania. So they'd actually established these Manias are like, these Royal Rumbles are getting quite popular. Hulk Hogan's our biggest guy. Why don't we have him win both of these? And at the end, Hogan must pose. And he can just pose for ages at the end of the show and everyone will be happy. So they did that. And it involved him, coming out in the sort of latter stages of the actual matches and throwing out bad guys like Mr. Perfect. And afterwards the crowd would be very happy. The thing that stands out was in 1990 when they used the Royal Rumble to really sort of progress the feud with Ultimate Warrior. It was the first time him and Hulk had actually come face to face and wrestled each other for anything really, and that was leading to that amazing WrestleMania 6 match that somehow worked really well. But that's what stands out really of his two Rumbles for me.
Yeah, I don't. They're not really well talked about, I must say. The Hulk Hogan victories. Does anyone?
They were getting the format down, but they don't stand out. That's why, because 92 stands out so much because of it.
Yeah,
These are like the early
So
Rumbles,
you're saying
aren't they?
they put Hogan in the Royal Rumble to make the Royal Rumble more significant?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, 3, 2, 1, and entrant at number 22 is Shinsuke Nakamura, and I get to eliminate people for a change. Sorry, Sam. I'm eliminating Hulk Hogan because screw it, he's won a lot in his life, and I'm eliminating Jim Duggan because it's only a 20-man Rumble, so it doesn't really count.
God damn it, bro!
I
you
love
didn't
Jim
do the
Duggan,
entrant for Nakamura.
Yeah. Down. Should we just do that for 90 seconds?
Someone do the shouty rap bit.
Anyway, Sam, you're a Japanese wrestling fan.
Yeah.
What was it like for Nakamura to win a Royal Rumble match in 2018?
I honestly thought it came out of nowhere, and I didn't really care when it happened. I'll be honest. The Rumble itself was good, and because of all the kind of New Japan guys were in it, there was some cool moments with like Nakamura and Finn Balor squaring off against.
Oh, that was
I can't remember who.
Yeah, it was. Was it Cena and something? It was old v new as well.
Yeah. So Rey Mysterio was part of that as well. I remember that was a great that moment right there was amazing.
That was good, but him winning was just a bit like, oh, okay, all right. It's too bad.
No, but
really
I remember
anywhere.
everyone was happy that he won because it set up the match with AJ Styles.
I kind of predicted Nakamura
beginning of the end for Nakamura, really.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was before we knew.
2, 1. He's the best he ever was and the best ever will be, or something like that. It's the 1994 winner, co-winner, Bret the Hitman Hart. Jason.
Yeah, I was looking at this and I couldn't believe I was looking back and thinking, Bret Hart only co-won one Royal Rumble and never won any of them. And he never really got established as a Royal Rumble competitor because I guess tag matches and not being that big and then being in title matches from that point onwards. So this was the only real big moment he's got in a Rumble that I can think of, and it's that ending with Luger where he was in the ring for a lot longer. But
I kind of agree with that. I kind of, from 94, not that I remember, I was only 2, but like from just watching back, I only remember the stuff from like WrestleMania 10 from that year. His 2 matches, that great one with Owen Hart before winning the WWF title in the main event, losing to Owen Hart. So yeah, it's interesting. No one really talks about them. Hart winning the '94 Rumble, weirdly.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, I love Bret Hart, and everyone knows the moment at the end, but you don't remember anything that actually happened in the Rumble apart from the end. And you don't remember them doing anything.
Anyway, I'm going to use this last 10 seconds to recap who's in. So it's Bret Hart, Shinsuke Nakamura, The Undertaker, Batista, Ric Flair, Chris Jericho, John Cena, and Becky Lynch. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the winner of the only 40-man Royal Rumble, Alberto Del Rio. And Sam, you get to eliminate at least one from that list above.
Can I just say, what happened to Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, Rey Mysterio still in.
He's been eliminated along with John Cena and The Undertaker, who eliminate each other in a kind of old versus new moment. I feel like I should get rid of someone else as well.
John Cena and Rey. Oh my god.
Yokozuna, he's out too.
Yokozuna's already out.
Oh, I can't remember.
He came back.
He came back and now he's out. He's been chucked out a second time.
He got escorted out of the building.
He's got the Funaki spot.
Stone Cold Yokozuna.
I just thought the pool was getting a bit full, so I guess Alberto Del Rio cleaned house. I don't want it to be him. I hate Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, I this is the only Royal Rumble I didn't watch live from 2005 onwards. I mean, live within the 24 hours. This is when I really didn't give a shit about wrestling. So yeah, I don't really have much to say. All I know from this Rumble, it was Santino Marella finished second, and
that was a good spot actually.
What?
That was a good moment.
Yeah, it was a good moment, and it was mainly like CM Punk in the Nexus versus the Core, I believe.
Yeah,
and then John Cena and Hornswoggle cleaned house. I remember that.
Wow, this Rumble sounds like dog shit.
And you want to know why CM Punk was popular, Sam? Entering at number 25. No chance! No chance in hell! It's Mr. McMahon, Jason. Do you want to talk about the 2000 Royal Rumble and Chen as well?
Yeah, let me cover it. So this was what prevented Stone Cold being the man to win it 3 years in a row, because he had that feud going on with Vince. I believe they started at 1 and 2, then ran off somewhere, backstage, and the corporation beat the shit out of Stone Cold and left him lying in the toilets or whatever. And then they just came back at the end of the Rumble. Vince got in the ring, and then Stone Cold came after him, and then The Rock came out and distracted Stone Cold, so Vince threw him over. Vince won the Rumble. Everyone celebrated because everyone loves Vince McMahon. That's how I remember it anyway.
I even though this was the show that kind of really cemented my love of wrestling, I don't remember this Rumble, because for me the Royal Rumble 2000 was all about the death match, it was a street fight between Triple H and Cactus Jack. So I can only remember Too Cool dancing in the Rumble, and that's it from the rest of the match.
Yeah.
I will say this though. This Royal Rumble match led to one of my favourite steel cage matches of all time, and it was Steve Austin versus Mr. McMahon at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Great cage match.
Oh yeah,
Big Show's debut, right?
Yeah, it was so good. It's like, oh my god, it's Paul White, and I was like, So yeah, enter at number 26. I hear voices in my head. It's not Chen in his mic. It's Randy. He's oily. Oh. It's Randy Orton at number 26. And Sam, you get to eliminate at least one competitor.
Oh, can you remind me who's in?
Vince McMahon, Alberto Del Rio, Bret Hart, Shinsuke Nakamura, Batista, Ric Flair, Chris Jericho, and Becky Lynch in reverse order. Okay,
I'm going to get rid of Alberto Del Rio and Becky Lynch. There we go.
Boo! We're out of women.
Yeah,
Boo.
someone had to do it.
I would have kept Vince McMahon, Chris Jericho, who's never won, and Nakamura in, and Bret Hart, who's a co-winner.
Oh, bollocks! I was going to eliminate Nakamura as well.
Too late.
All right. Let's talk about Randy Orton. First of all, the first thing that comes to mind about Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble was the RKO to Nia Jax last year.
Oh, jeez. This
Really?
Rumble. This was the first WWL meetup that I went to. And I just remember everyone being really pissed off at the end, like a whole room full of just kind of irritated people who were like, "That shouldn't have been what the finish was."
But it was a good story that he had with that he went on to have with Bray. But as for his first one, that was the right time for him to win it because that was the Triple H main event, right?
I don't remember.
Number 27. Well, it's a 2-time runner-up, The Big Show.
How will anyone eliminate the Big Show?
That's
He weighs over 700 pounds.
He's 10 foot tall.
I know.
I like The Big Show. He doesn't get enough love.
Oh no! It's just every time he's in, it's the same thing. Like he's the favourite. No one's going to get rid of him, and every time he loses, when does that change?
What?
This year, he's back. Babyface Big Show.
Yeah, great.
He could turn heel and babyface in the same Royal Rumble if he wanted to.
Literally, yeah, in the same match.
And then back to being a heel, and then back to being a face. Just continue
around.
I mean, if he did that, I would want him to go to WrestleMania just on that alone. Just the character shifts would be more than a Russo WCW title reign.
He main evented WrestleMania, right? John Cena and Edge.
No, that was Triple H.
He main evented WrestleMania 2000 in the 4-way.
Yeah,
he did.
But
so
we're talking Rumble.
I mean, yeah, he was runner up that year, even though he technically co-won it with The Rock in 2000, which that was interesting.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The first Cena Batista moment.
And I remember 2001 when he chokeslammed The Rock through a table.
Oh yeah. That 2001 Rumble was a good Rumble. Yeah. Good Rumbles in the Attitude Era, I've got to say. Entering at number 28, Big Dog, my yard, Big Dog, woof woof. It's the Big Dog, the 2015 winner, Roman Reigns. And Jason, you get to eliminate one from the Big Show: Randy Orton, Mr. McMahon, Bret Hart, Shinsuke Nakamura, Batista, Ric Flair, and Chris Jericho. Eliminate at least one, please.
I'm going to take care of Randy Orton. He's gone, and as is Nakamura.
Oh, poor Randy.
Two of the most blandest Royal Rumble wins are gone.
Randy Orton with a punt in 2009 was not bland, but I couldn't defend him.
What are you talking about? All right.
He sucks.
Yeah, we're still keeping Chris Jericho in, not a winner, and we're keeping Big Show in because not a winner. Roman Reigns, 2015. Is he the worst Royal Rumble winner of all time?
Yeah, was this the one where he had a little sleep in the middle of it and then came back?
No, that was 2016. But no, this is the one where even The Rock got booed out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, The Rock came and interfered. He helped. Roman eliminated the Big Show. That's the one, right? The Rock came.
Yeah, The Rock came down, helped eliminate Big Show and Kane because I think they were working with the Authority at the time.
Yeah, it was funny because
then Rusev popped out under the ring, everyone cheered, and then The Rock came out to save ass. But
you know what was funny? The previous Royal Rumble, a lot of people, everyone was cheering for Roman, but then that Rumble, that's when the rumors started about his push.
Yeah. No, I think that was more to do with Batista and the CM Punk thing. Anyway, enter at number 29 is the Irishman, Sheamus. I couldn't think of his theme song there. So
I don't even know.
It was just like, like Irish music, wasn't it? Or not Irish music, like Irish folk music.
Just Irish music in general. It's U2. Everything sounds
Becky
like
Lynch's old theme.
I don't
she had an old theme? My God, yeah.
She had the Irish dancing gimmick in NXT. See, something I do know about NXT.
Yeah, she had that. She basically had that dancing gimmick with Hornswoggle. This is how great the 2012 Royal Rumble was. Everyone thought Jericho was going to win. Sheamus won, led to the 18 seconds. No one liked Sheamus. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, his match was his match the opening match?
At WrestleMania 28, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. But
I think it's fair to say Sheamus did his best work when he was not a singles competitor.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I've enjoyed Sheamus. Like you said, in his run with the Bar, last couple of years he's been great. But during babyface era Sheamus, he was just, I couldn't stand him. It was so annoying.
In fairness, it did lead to a great 2 out of 3 falls match with Daniel Bryan. And when he dropped the title to the Big Show at Hell in a Cell, I think it was, that was actually a pretty good match, all things considered. Like, no one expected anything from that match, and led to Big Show Mark Henry rivalry, which was surprisingly good for two big men. So yeah, don't hate Sheamus that much. And Buddy down. It's entry number 30 is Seth Rollins, and who gets to eliminate people next? It is Jason again. So Jason, pick one of Sheamus, Roman Reigns, Big Show, Vince McMahon, Bret Hart, Batista, Ric Flair, Chris Jericho. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to change the rules. You can eliminate Seth Rollins just because I'm envious that he dates Becky Lynch. It should have been me.
I'm going to make him the shortest entrant in our Rumble, Jason.
Let's get down to what matters here. We're getting down to brass tacks. Goodbye, Big Show. Goodbye, Sheamus. Goodbye, Y2J. Let's get this down to what matters.
Cool. So Big Show, Chris Jericho. What was the other one?
And Y2J, Big Show, and Sheamus.
Cool.
Which, if I'm correct, leaves us with Flair, Batista, Bret Hart, Roman Reigns, Vince, and Seth.
Yep, they are the final six. The Elimination Chamber. So yeah, Seth Rollins. Boring Rumble last year, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember it, so yeah, it must have been.
Yeah, he did well. I think he got eliminated, like not eliminated, but I think he was like rolled out the ring for a while, as with Braun Strowman, and then they became the final two or something. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that rings a bell.
It's the women's one's the one that stood out because of Becky, right? And we don't remember the men's one, and that was the most recent Rumble, and that says a lot.
To be fair, I liked the men's Rumble last year a lot, and yeah, just ignore that. We'll just keep going for another minute and a half, and then someone else gets to eliminate people. So yeah, I remember last year's, like, the first half of the men's Rumble was good, and the last half of the women's Rumble was good. So you had combined one good Rumble, but yeah, you know, like, it was a poor end to that men's Rumble in my opinion. They should have finished with Becky winning. The main event should have been the women's Rumble.
Oh, I thought you meant she should have entered and won the men's Rumble as well.
Oh yeah, no, I would love that. But
no, but that
Nia Jax though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which
everyone remembers that Nia Jax in the Rumble.
Wow, so cynical of you, Sam. So let's talk about the remaining six competitors. Let's go back to Ric Flair, the longest one in this competition at number 17. Why do you think he should win, Jay?
Well, as we discussed last year, it was he won our Royal Rumble greatest moment, just the overall performance during that Rumble. I mean, this one in particular, I know he had one other Royal Rumble appearance which we won't talk about. It's largely forgettable, very short. But I just look at this and it's the ultimate starting of. He's the first man to go like 60 minutes or so in a Rumble, which is like the thing that then everyone then tries to beat and refers back to. He eliminated so many people during the Rumble. He had these amazing moments with Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, like. Shawn Michaels, Big Boss Man. There's some great moments in that showing you how you build a story around a Rumble.
Okay, I get to eliminate someone. I'm going to eliminate Seth Rollins because boring Rumble, really. Not because it's Seth Rollins. I do actually like Seth. I know it's not cool and he's not cool, but you know. But yeah, I think he's the weakest of the five remaining. I like at least the other five have some sort of memorable victory. Chen, you and I were both Ruthless Aggression era guys, in some respects. Why Batista?
I mean, Batista was that guy. I mean, I thought it was a blessing for WWE when they had two superstars coming up at the same time and main eventing at the same time, which was Batista and John Cena.
Yeah.
And Royal Rumble performance, yeah, it's a shame about his 2014 whatsoever. But let's remember, everyone was excited that Batista was coming back at that period.
Yeah, I think everyone was excited. I think they just built it up wrong. Like, if they kept it as a surprise instead of just, oh yeah, Batista's coming, then I think it would have been very, very different. I think we could have had a different story at WrestleMania 30 for the worse. I hasten to argue, but yeah, I think it all turned out well in the end. Like, Batista tapped out to Bryan at the main event.
Yeah,
Mania.
and
I think
Batista
he did the right
as
thing.
well.
Oh, Batista is the best Batista. Anyway, we've got a minute and a half until at least one more elimination. Let's talk about Bret the Hitman Hart. Sam, do you have anything to say about the 94 winner? I don't recall you saying too much about him.
No, I mean, Bret Hart is definitely a class choice for his performances, not just in the 94 Rumble, but in every Rumble that he's been in. He's one of those guys that just, in any match, the quality is improved because he's there.
Yeah.
Not, yeah, because he's helping he's always like helping other people plan out good stuff, basically. He's a very good wrestling mind, Bret Hart.
Isn't he like almost the first Iron Man, if I'm correct? Back in the original 1988 run, he was the one that stood out. If I'm correct.
Yeah, I think he's done like Iron Man-esque positions in a few Rumbles, but yeah, I can't remember specifically which ones, to be
He was always
completely
a guy
honest.
that you could put in there, and he would be able to like make stuff happen throughout the Rumble. But even though he was never like having standout moments and winning it, he's someone who's like. But even when he's like the tag team stage, or when he was just starting his young babyface run on his own, you put him in there, the crowd always loved him, so they were going to be interested in what he was doing throughout the Rumble, even if nothing huge came out of those moments.
I guess that's always kind of been a blessing and a curse for Bret Hart, is that he's really good at making his opponent look really good, which is,
Yeah.
it's not always a great position to be in if you want to be a main eventer.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam, we're going to keep it with you because you get to eliminate at least one from Flair, Batista, Hart, McMahon, and Reigns.
I think I will get rid of Mr. McMahon and his newer, not really long-time foe, Roman Reigns, as well. Roman Reigns' hand is tired and he needs to go and put it on its special little bed and give it a rest. And also, I don't think Mr. McMahon really, even though it was a great moment, him winning, he probably shouldn't win this competition of good Royal Rumble people.
Can you imagine if we'd come down to like Vince McMahon and Chris Benoit?
Fucking hell.
Vince would win. That's the best part. I was hoping he would stay into the last two just for like storyline purposes. I wanted Mr. McMahon, Ric Flair, and then I could reminisce about the rivalry that they had on the video game SmackDown Shut Your Mouth.
They had actual rival. They actually had a match at the Royal Rumble. Ric Flair, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, no, it was all right. I've seen it. Like I used to my first ever like documentary, quote unquote DVD, was the McMahon DVD, which is highly entertaining.
Oh,
when you had
yeah.
especially when you were like me, who had no idea about the Attitude Era. I just went, holy shit, this is amazing. No wonder it's shit these days.
Yeah. My friend found that in CEX. I watched it a couple of months ago. It's legitimately worth watching if you can find it.
Yeah, it's just like they casually talk about incest as a potential storyline. It's
Yeah.
definitely about like, the storyline. Father could have impregnated me, but I think Shane was against it, and like good old Shane, the one that was rational.
She plays it like it's for laughs, doesn't she? Like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's just like that's my dad. He wants to sleep with me. Allegedly.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah. Oh, God bless Vince McMahon. So we're down to final three. We've got a minute left. Ric Flair, Batista, Bret Hart. One will be eliminated by a person at random. I know that person already. It's exciting. So yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I think the weakest of these three is Bret Hart. Like Ric Flair's 92 victory is memorable. Batista's a 2-time winner. Bret Hart's a co-winner. So I implore
Yes,
to
but
that person.
over talent, Batista comes last.
Yeah, come on. Batista botched the ending of one of his Rumbles.
Yeah, but Bret Hart didn't win his Rumble.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
We're talking about the
best
greats, but at least Batista provided you with memorable moments.
Sometimes the best wrestler doesn't win.
Look, I gotta say, like,
did Kane ever win one? No, he didn't. But he's had one of the best performances.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kane had one of the best performances, but one of you bozos chose to eliminate him early. Like, I would have kept him in here for a long time.
That was me.
Yeah.
Oh God, Chen. All right, and Sam, you get to decide who goes to the final two.
Oh, so do I want like an old school showdown or like ruthless aggression versus, I guess, the Hulkamania era?
It's two members of Evolution or Hart versus Flair, which is basically Charlotte versus Natalia's grandparents or whatever. I know it's Natalia's uncle, but I don't care.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we've already discussed. I think it's got to be Batista. He's got to go.
Boo! Boo! I don't like wrestling. I don't like CM Punk.
Come on now. I'm changing my tune on CM Punk. Batista's he's not bad at wrestling or anything. I just thought, out of Batista, Ric Flair, and Bret Hart, would you really say Batista's given more to the Royal Rumble than Ric Flair and Bret Hart?
Batista's given more to the entertainment industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Batista's a Hollywood superstar. You know.
I didn't realize that's what this Royal Rumble was about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You do
who had the
realise
best films.
I have forgotten someone off this list.
Yeah, was it The
The
Rock?
Rock.
Because he just popped into my head. Yeah,
I was like, "Where's the Rock at?" Oh well.
didn't he ever win?
Yeah, he did. 2000 co-winner with no. Wait.
No, he's never won.
Oh, he's never won. Wait, hold on. No, he's definitely
Who
won.
won in 2001?
That was
Stone
Steve.
Cold.
No, 99 was Vince. 2000 was The Rock. Oh, god damn it. I botched the entire Royal Rumble, haven't I?
Oh,
Surprise entrance.
Enter at number
Oh,
31
yeah.
is The Rock.
Right
Enter
there.
at number 31 is The Rock. Let's just enter him into the Royal Rumble, right?
Well, I like this
Why
idea
not?
because can we just eliminate some people as the Rock comes down then? So it's Rock
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
someone.
Right. We've got Ric Flair, Bret Hart, The Rock. Let's discuss for 1 minute and then we'll eliminate someone else.
Batista's
Because
gone then.
Yeah,
Batista's already gone.
Cool. And who else is going?
I said
We've
Ric
got another
Flair.
minute to discuss this. The Rock's just entered at number 31, Jay.
He should be eliminating someone quickly. This is a surprise entrant. He should be on fire just throwing
Okay,
someone
who do you want to see eliminated out of Ric Flair, Bret Hart? Let's go around the room. Jason.
Bret Hart.
Chen. Chen?
just silence from Chen.
Ric Flair.
Oh, you eliminate Ric Flair. You know what? Sam, who you going to eliminate?
I got to go with Bret Hart. Ric Flair has had the best. It's probably the best Rumble, man. The '92 Rumble.
Yeah, I can't do it. I really wanted to troll
Listen,
Jason.
I
and
wanted
eliminate
Bret
Ric Flair.
Hart because I want to see sharpshooter versus sharpshooter.
Oh my god, that's so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Shit show of a sharpshooter that the Rock
I
does.
just remember Bret Hart
Mm.
criticizing The Rock about his
It's
sharpshooter.
fucking
All right.
atrocious.
So let's have like 2 minutes discussing Ric Flair versus a Rock. Surprise bottom two, final two. It feels like the bottom two. After I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen at home. How could I forget
Just play. No,
Dwayne
you
Johnson?
meant to do it, Brod. I like the way you booked it. Very
Oh
clever.
yeah. It was totally legit, Jason. Okay, so entrant number 17, Ric Flair versus entry number 31, The Rock.
The Rock. I feel like if this was in a real Rumble, the first like 2 minutes of them being in the ring together would just be them like looking at each other and the crowd going bananas.
And The Rock
Yeah,
smelling.
oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
like both in their prime, absolute dream match. To be honest, right now it would be an absolute dream match. I would love to see Ric Flair come out. No, I'm joking.
Do another retirement match for the WWE to make up for that one on
No,
Impact.
but when I remember WrestleMania 20, Mick Foley and The Rock versus Evolution, that was a good match. I think that's the only time I've seen Rock and Ric Flair wrestle.
Yeah, they did at
So, yeah.
WrestleMania.
Maybe
Yeah,
they should make on
there's
a
a Rock and
Raw.
Sock connection versus
Yeah.
Evolution. Yeah, that was a good match. Definitely worth a watch, Sam.
Look, I remember
it
the
was
Rock and
good.
Sock connection. They're the tag team that then gave rise to always calling a tag team of two people that you know aren't going to stick together the something and something connection.
And
And what's your point?
It really annoys me. It's like WWE signposting.
Listen, it's like Johnny
"We're not
Gargano
behind
and
this team."
DIY. They were just two random people put together and they made a great tag team. It works.
The Boss and Hug connection.
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, that's rough. Anyway, let's pause the clock. Who wants to go around and vote? Who's ready to vote on this? Ric Flair or The Rock as the greatest Royal Rumble participant of all time?
I mean,
I'll go first.
All right.
I'd like to put my vote in right now for the Ric Flair. I nearly said the Rock Flair then, which would have been very confusing. I mean Ric Flair. That's what I meant to say. I feel like the Rock has undeniably had great performances in Royal Rumbles, but there's not really like any particularly standout moments from him, really. Whereas
Yeah.
Ric Flair in '92, like, it's an incredible performance. There's never been anything else like it. It was the first Rumble to have like a theme or a story.
I think there's been things since that have surpassed that, but you know what? I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to actually agree with you, Sam, and I'm going to say Ric Flair's the deserved winner. So, Chen, are you going to try and save The Rock, or are you going to agree with the '92 Royal Rumble?
We're only judging on Royal Rumble performance, right?
yes, that's what we've been doing the whole night.
Yes. So then it has to be Ric Flair.
Ric Flair and Jason, are you going to make it unanimous?
Yeah, I want to give The Rock some love just for his involvement in getting Vince McMahon his big win. That we get that happened. We have to sort of give that some
Oh
love.
yeah.
And also the fact that he did his win did have the classic Big Show's going to finally win and throw The Rock out, and he's going to because you can't eliminate the Big Show, but then The Rock won. So we give him those moments, but of course I'm going with Ric Flair.
So Ric Flair, back-to-back winner in our Royal Rumbles. Round of applause for a good segment, guys. A very good segment. So well done. Definitely meant 31 people instead of 30. Definitely meant to include Bob Backlund. I will say this though. Who eliminated Steve Austin early again?
It was me, and I regret. I regret it, and I'm sorry, everyone.
God.
Sometimes when you watch the Rumble, things happen that you just don't expect, and that was one of those things. I was caught off guard. I didn't realize I had to name people. I couldn't remember the full list of people, but I could remember Steve Austin.
You had so many people. You chose to keep. I think you chose to keep at that point Yokozuna and Big John Studd over.
Jesus, no, Big John
I don't
Studd went out
no.
pretty quick.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I eliminated Big John Studd. Yeah, I can't remember, but you had all these. You chose to keep Edge over Steve Austin. I think
I did make some bad decisions. Yes,
I mean, I like the Edge.
Accept that.
Thank God you're not a booker.
Yeah, Heath Slater would be world champion under Sam.
That'd be great, mate. It would be like the Russo era. You never know what to expect. Who's pregnant with whose baby? Who's going to give birth to whose hand? You know, it's exciting.
Wait.
You'd be
Liv
more like
Morgan has
Dixie
given birth
Carter,
to Mark
Vince
Henry's
Russo.
birth. I would love that.
Ugh.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, dear listener, for joining us on our special Royal Rumble episode. You can join us as well next Monday. If you go to watchwrestling.london, you can find all the details about our meetup at Belushi's London Bridge, where you can watch the Royal Rumble Monday after work at 6:30 p.m. So Belushi's London Bridge, join us. Meet Jason. He's obviously plugging his new book, Women Love Wrestling, that you can buy on Amazon Kindle right now, or get the proper copy if you're old-fashioned like me. Also available on Amazon. So next week we'll be doing a review of the first Royal Rumble show of the 2020s. God, don't you feel old? Also, we'll also be talking about things that we've seen recently in the world of wrestling. So just like mini reviews of stuff like NXT UK Takeover, to what's happening in AEW, to even like New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom. So, we'll talk more about recent wrestling in next week's episode. But until next time, remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, give us a 5-star review where possible, and if you enjoyed the show, do not forget to subscribe. And that's the bottom line, because this pod said so.